Hi guys, and welcome back to this journey towards excellent exam results. In these shorter revision videos, we are going to be breaking down different concepts within the GCSE geography specification. The aim of this is to help us understand the concepts better and to give us the information and confidence we need to answer exam questions. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the strategies put in place to protect tropical rainforests. Okay, let's get started. What is being done to protect tropical rainforests? Now, there are several large organizations that are dedicated to protecting tropical rainforests, including the World Wildlife Fund, so the WWF, the Rainforest Trust, Conservation International, the Nature Conservancy, which is a TNC, and the Rainforest Alliance. Now, the ones that are covered in our specification are the ones that I have summarized below here. And we have the name of the organization and what that organization does. Now, the first one is CITES, so CITES, and this has a global approach. Now, according to them, CITES is the international, it's a convention rather on international trade in endangered species of wild fauna and flora. And it's an international agreement between governments. Its aim is to ensure that international trade in specimens of wild animals and plants does not threaten the survival of the species. So that is what they say on their website. So what they are trying to do is to ensure that any endangered species of animals and plants are being protected, and they have formed an agreement between governments to ensure that that is being done. Now, they have had several successes as well as limitations. And one of their successes is that there has been a reduction in the trade of ivory in Africa. Now, ivory trade is where people trade elephant tusks. And obviously, when they are doing that, they are killing the elephants and endangering the elephant species. And this has been, the sites have been very successful in reducing the ivory trade, which is a really good thing. Then another success is that 185 countries are currently signed up to CITES, which is a really good thing because more countries working together means that they can protect more endangered species. Then another success is that they have managed to protect very many species. So what are the limitations then? The limitations, one of them is global warming. Like we've said, global warming is actually affecting biodiversity across the world, and therefore that's a limitation or an impediment or hindrance rather, if you like, that they have faced. Then we have the second limitation here, and that is that a species must be under threat to meet or to make the list. That means that there are some species that are not under threat, that are actually being that cannot be protected by CITES. So that is problematic. And then the last limitation here is CITES do not prevent deforestation. So deforestation will still take place whether CITES are there or not, because some people will just continue to cut down the rainforest, okay, as much as CITES are trying to prevent that from happening. Then the second organization here is RED, so REDD. So it's a UN project that stands for Reducing Emissions from Deforestation and Forest Degradation. So their purpose is to stop deforestation, and which is a major driver of climate change. Okay, so that basically means that when we cut down trees, we are exacerbating climate change, or we are, facilitating that process of climate change. And that is because the trees are taking carbon dioxide and give off oxygen. So with fewer trees, obviously, if we cut down the trees, we will have a lot more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and that will lead to climate change or global warming. Now, we did mention in the last video that the rainforest has been referred to as the lungs of the earth. And the reason why it has been referred to as such is because it's helping, it's helping the earth to breathe, quote unquote. And that's because obviously it's taking in the carbon dioxide and giving off oxygen. Okay, so the third approach here, or organization here, is more of a local approach other than a global approach. So this is not between countries, but it's within countries. And this is the Juma Sustainable Forest Reserve, the SFR. So this is actually a RED project that protects a large area of the rainforest in the Amazon. So this is specifically and local to the Amazon. So local people are paid £28 not to cut down trees. The money comes from donations from sources like the Marriott hotels, the Bradesco Bank, which is a Latin American bank, but that is now based in the US. And they have had several successes. And one is that a large area of the Amazon forest is protected. And also, this particular project here is creating or generating income for the locals, and is also educating those locals on sustainable farming. Now, if they're educated on sustainable farming, obviously, their farming practices will ensure that they are not harming the rainforest in the Amazon. Then we have limitations here. And the limitation, one of them is that $28 is not much money. And also that this organization here is relying on donations. And if those donations obviously were to stop, then they would not be able to function or to operate. Then the other limitation is that it stunts development locally, as there is no access to local resources. Now, that means that because you are restricting the locals from accessing the natural resources that are in the Amazon, then you are restricting development in those communities. Then the last limitation is illegal logging. And that's the one we had talked about earlier, where obviously you have this organization, SFR, but they cannot stop all the logging that is taking place. There are still some people or some organizations that, no, not just some organizations, but mostly people that will manage to do illegal logging. That brings us to the end of this video on protecting rainforests. I hope that you have found the information insightful and useful. I have also done a video covering the whole of topic 8, which is forests under threat. It will pop up as one of the suggested videos at the end of this one, and can also be found in the Forests Under Threat playlist. Videos on all the other subtopics within this topic are also in that playlist. There is also a playlist for the next topic, which is consuming energy resources. Thanks once again for joining in this journey towards excellent exam results. All the best, and see you again soon. Bye-bye.